It's National Indigenous Peoples Day here in Canada, and I am very pleased to be joined now by former Jack Adams Award winner and hockey trailblazer, Ted Nolan. Ted, thanks so much for your time. Now, it is National Indigenous Peoples Day. What does this day mean to you in 2021, given all that we've seen just this year and the many conversations that we're having across this country right now?
Well, right now, I guess it means maybe a little bit of a reckoning. We've been trying to tell people for so many years of what transpired in some of these residential schools and some of the horrific things that we've been told as youngsters, and like even leaving the community when we were young. A lot of our parents wouldn't allow us to go because a lot of us didn't come back. So you can understand where they're coming from, and I was one of the lucky ones. My father, I asked some of my cousins went to residential schools and so forth. We went to things called day schools, so we're lucky we came home at nighttime. But I asked my mom one time, how come we didn't go? And she said she showed a shotgun in right beside the kitchen door. She said, "That's the reason right there. Your dad wouldn't let them take you." So I was one of the lucky ones, but we certainly didn't forget the ones who did. And I tell this story everywhere I go. My first game I ever played in the National Hockey League, I had some tears of not so much joy of playing there, but a joy of honor. Because if it wasn't for my forefathers before me and some of the horrific things that they went through, I would certainly never had the opportunity to do what I'm doing. So I laid homage for them, and I think that's what we should do now going forward, to show respect for the ones who didn't come home.
Now, you have been telling us, you've been very open and honest about the racism that you faced in your life and throughout your hockey career. Now, unfortunately, we got another very recent example with Ethan Bear of the Edmonton Oilers, who was subject to racist messages after the Oilers were eliminated from the playoffs. You know very well what he's had to go through. What did you make of that situation and it happening this year?
Well, every one of us before him, we all went through it. But the only thing nowadays is they have the text messages and all the other social media events that cowards can kind of get behind and say things that before at least someone said it to your face, you could see them. Now they're hiding behind a camera and or behind a text machine and saying what they have, but there's just no room for it. And like I said, in hockey, we have to make a very strong stance that this won't be tolerated. And there's ways to find out who these people are, and we don't need them in our game. We don't need them in our stands. We don't need them cheering for our teams. We need good people in our game.
And as we know, social media can be a force for bad. It can also be a force for good. I want to get your response to the reaction that Ethan Bear got. Of course, you were involved in the campaign to wear your favorite Indigenous hockey player's jersey in the days following. He received support from his teammates, from hockey fans from across this country. Did you see that as progress, considering back in your day, so much of what happened went unchallenged and unaddressed?
Well, if you look at some our trailblazers before him, Freddie Sakamoose, things that he went to residential schools and playing in the league when there was only 6 teams. You look at Jimmy Nielsen, Reggie Leach, Brian Trottier, all the great players that allowed us to follow in their footsteps. You look at Chris Simon, Gino Ojek, Jonathan Chichu, Carey Price with the Montreal Canadiens right now. My son Jordan, who was very lucky to win 3 Stanley Cups, but it wasn't for those guys, we wouldn't be here. So it's right now it's a great time. I went on a program earlier. One of my all-time favorite movies was Shawshank Redemption, because the guy said hope is a good thing. So you kind of hope things are swinging in the right direction, and I don't think we'll ever totally get rid of it, but at least hopefully we get rid of the stuff like happened to Ethan Bear that we wouldn't see ever again. And they said it's pretty sad but Ethan's a young man now, so he can handle it a little bit better. But I'm talking about the 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds that are going to school. Those are the ones that we have to really watch out for.
Now, I know you're working a lot with young people in your communities. You have the Ted Nolan Foundation, and you have an initiative that you started back in 2013 with your two sons. Tell us about the three sons, or three Nolans, excuse me.
The three Nolans, I mean, that came up ever since I played my first game in a National Hockey League. I think I was 23 at the time. We called it Anishinaabe Hockey School. We went to various different communities, and then when I had my boys, then we kind of backed off a little bit. And then Brandon, my oldest one, he said, "Hey, Dad, we want to start the program all over again. This time we'll call it 3N because all three of us played in the National Hockey League." So they came up with the slogan, the merchandise, and what we do is we try to go into a lot of the tougher communities to get into, like the ones where I'm from. We have the city of Sault Ste. Marie attached, so kids have a little bit more access too. So we try to go into some of the remote communities and bring a high quality hockey school to them. And the whole trick is not so much hockey. We're not trying to produce the next NHL player, but we're just trying to, through hockey, talk to the kids about the power of education, the power of health, the good nutrition, and being a good citizen, and those type of things. Is it as we know, I don't care what color you are, it's very tough to play at the elite level, such as the National Hockey League. But through sport, you can encourage so many kids to inspire whatever else they want to be, whether they want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a carpenter, a nurse, whatever it may be. So we're just hopefully be a shining light and a shining example that you can become whatever you want to be.
Now, if you're looking for more information, it's at 3nolans.com. You can find out about the initiative. They have some great apparel, like Ted's got the hat on there now. So, Ted, thanks so much for your honesty on National Indigenous Peoples Day and, helping to shed a light on everything.
Well, thank you very much for helping me. And like I said, I think it's a shout out to all people. We just got to learn how to, coexist together. And it doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, we're all human beings, and we all deserve that respect. So to everybody from Indigenous Day, be kind to one another.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Ted. Thanks so much.
Thank you.